Esfand's draft night extravaganza preview. We're doing a pre-show. We're gonna do the draft itself in LA on Thursday. So that'll be a live show in LA with me, Will Neff, and Erobb. And then we're also gonna have a post-show recapping the whole draft, but the show is gonna be for the first round. But we'll like give out some draft grades and stuff the Sunday after. Dude, what do you guys? How are you guys feeling about this draft?
I think there might be a lot of movement in terms of trades.
Oh yeah.
Before the actual draft. So doing a draft this early, I know that sounds crazy to say, but it's tough. So I locked in as many of the picks that I think will stick around between now and then, and I didn't account for any trades because it's too hard to.
Chat, we have a draft website, a mock draft website that you guys are going to be able to participate in. A mock draft is it's kind of like a March Madness bracket. It's essentially a bracket where you can go and you can guess who is going to be picked at every single pick. The winner of the mock draft, whoever gets the highest score, the most accurate mock draft, which by the way is already like, it's like impossible. Like it's incredibly difficult to actually guess where every single player is going to go. But if you have whoever has the most accurate draft is going to win a StarForge PC. StarForge is hooking us up with a PC. Yes. So a little something for you guys. And there's also pick'ems. So you can try and pick like all kinds of ridiculous stuff, right? And everything from who's going to be the first overall pick, right? Everything from that to how many trades will be in the first round. What color suit will the first player drafted wear? Ridiculous stuff, right? So whoever gets the most points for this, we're actually going to send you a signed football. So you're going to get a signed football by me, Will, and Erobb. Have you ever signed a football before, Erobb?
Never in my life.
Dude, it's a
Have you signed a football?
Yeah, I've signed lots of footballs.
Why?
Well, so that people know that they're mine, so when I go to the park, I don't lose them.
Okay.
The draft's on Thursday. So Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. PST. This is how I want to do this. I think we go and we go first pick Carolina Panthers.
Yep.
And we each give our pick. I think that the first pick of the draft is going to be Bryce Young.
Yes,
I agree.
The Panthers obviously need quarterback help, and I think that the big knock on Bryce Young, I'm going to click draft right here, it's his height. Like, he's small, but I mean, there's been plenty of quarterbacks in the NFL at this point who've been able to play at a high level. Name five. Drew Brees.
Flutie.
Doug Flutie is a good one. It's an old one. So Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield more recently, Russell Wilson. Yeah, Russell Wilson, that's five.
He scored the highest out of this quarterback class on the cognitive test, the reaction test. Last year, the quarterback that scored the highest, does anybody know?
Really?
The
49ers quarterback.
Yep.
Brock
Purdy.
Yeah.
Brock Big Schlong Purdy scored #1 on this relatively new test. The way that they boil it down is quick decision making.
Okay.
And it's different than just an overall IQ test. And I think that Bryce Young, they're looking at him, and I think that with that stupid high QB season grade and his ability to make quick decisions, and he's super accurate, I just don't see the Panthers trading up and taking CJ Stroud.
Well, CJ Stroud also got like the lowest score. He like at 18%.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. But again,
terrible.
this is putting a lot of eggs in one basket
True.
for one test. But that's my conspiracy theory.
So
I think when those results came out, he was a lock at #1.
I feel like that's probably the biggest knock on CJ Stroud is his ability to perform under pressure. Like I feel like, especially this last season.
She's upset with that pick.
Yeah, she's really pissed. Yeah, she's completely livid.
We can go right to our next pick because, you guys are either going to agree with me on this one or you're not. There's a lot of rumors around this second pick. I think smoke screens coming out of Houston right now. I think they're trying to drive the value of this pick up. I think they saw what the Bears got for the #1 overall, and the Texans said, hey, if we can get an offer like that, we would move on from this. The #2 pick is going to be CJ Stroud if they don't move off that pick.
I think if they don't move off of it, I think they take Will Anderson. I think they're going to suck again for another year, and they're going to try to get that first pick for, what's his name? Caleb Williams next year.
I
That's what
actually,
I think they're gonna do.
I actually don't think they go quarterback either.
I don't think they'll take a QB.
I think they could. Like I don't think it would be crazy if they took CJ Stroud. The reason why I don't see them going quarterback is because I really don't think there's a guy that's like a surefire. This is it. This is a safe pick. We know for a fact he's gonna pan out. I feel like Ohio State quarterbacks in recent years have not really panned out. And I think it kind of hurts him whenever people talk about CJ Stroud. I don't really know how big of a deal that is for as far as like scouting goes in the NFL and stuff.
I just don't know if the Houston Texans roll into the season with Davis Mills under the center and no backup. Like that is madness, bro. I just think there's going to be too much pressure. Listen, I think they'll try and move off the pick, right?
I think they'll trade it
that's
as
what they're
well.
doing. I think they want to ransom for the pick. If they can go get a bag for number 2 overall, this makes sense. For them to just sit at 2 and take a defensive player looking down the barrel of just a brutal season, which then they can't even guarantee that they'll get one of those marquee quarterbacks next year, right? They might fuck up and win 2 games and then it's over.
I feel like bringing CJ Stroud into the Texas offense is going to be setting him up for failure to some degree.
I mean, yeah.
Well, don't they have like the 12th pick too?
They do actually. It's a good point.
So they could draft another weapon for him with the 12th pick. Isn't there like a good receiver?
There's a few good receivers in this year's draft. So Jackson Smith and Jigba is he was at Ohio State with CJ Stroud. He had a knee. What was his injury this year? His hamstring, right?
He screwed his knee up. Everybody out of Ohio State says this is the guy, right? Even Garrett Wilson, who won Offensive Rookie of the Year, basically verbatim said Jackson Smith is a better athlete than I am. Now, I don't know if he's just doing that to be a homie and drive up his draft stock, but everybody says this dude is the guy. And I'm going to be honest, I don't even see him on the board at 12 for the Texans. I think he's the first receiver off the board, and I think he'll go earlier than that.
Where though?
I think he's going to
Maybe the
Atlanta. I think
Maybe
he's
the
going to
Bears.
hot Atlanta. I'm leaking a pick there, but I think he goes at 8.
I think it's going to be a big storyline coming into the NFL for CJ Stroud is he had like all the best players handed to him. He had all the weapons he needed at Ohio State. So whatever team he goes to, if he goes high, which he probably will, I feel like CJ Stroud is, he's kind of going to be set up to be in the exact opposite situation that he was at Ohio State.
Yeah.
And that's what I worry about him going to Houston.
So you both think, though, just for the record, Will Anderson Jr., number 2 to the Texans or to another team?
I think if they trade, somebody's trading up for CJ Stroud. Because I think Will Anderson is the safest pick in the draft. I think Will Anderson is disgusting.
I think
to the
Texans
Texans.
take Will Anderson.
If they stay, all right, here's the other question. If they move off the pick, who's coming up?
Do you think the Commanders, are they sticking with their QB?
Hell no.
I think they are. I think they said they're sticking with them.
Have you ever heard a GM or a head coach go, our quarterback fucking sucks. We are desperate. We are grabbing our ankles. We are about to get fucked next season, but it's okay. No, dude, it's all posturing. Everybody is like, yeah, we got the best guys out there. We're just going to be competitive. Hell no. They're looking for something.
Teams never will show their hand like full go because especially with the draft, a lot of what you do relies on what everybody else does. So I don't really see a world where people are going to be 100% honest.
Did you guys see Chris Ballard? Yeah, Indianapolis, when he gave a speech recently where he's like, listen, this is lying season. We're all lying. And he's like, either I'll give you a straight answer or I'm going to dance around it. And he said, today I'm a dancer, which is one of the greatest football guy answers I've ever seen in my life.
That's actually so good.
So we're still at number 2, right?
Yeah, we're still at number 2.
So I have the Texans taking Will Anderson.
You think the Texans are going to sit and take Will Anderson?
I don't think someone's going to trade up for it.
That's what I was leaning towards as well.
It's hard to predict trades. Like, it can ruin your whole mock draft.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to go and I'm going to sit with Will Anderson to Houston. Sure. That's what I'm going to sit with. That's my pick. I'm going to go Will Anderson to Houston.
Now we got the Cardinals. The Cardinals need so much.
All right. So
I do not think the Cardinals will stay here.
Really? Oh,
I think I truly believe a team is going to, if Will Anderson goes second, I truly believe a team will go for like the third pick, so the Colts don't get the CJ Stroud pick. I truly believe a team will come up here and take CJ Stroud.
well, this is where I have my Will Anderson. So I'll just drop my Will Anderson at 3 and let you guys talk about what's going to happen there. Because I do think Houston, by way of overwhelming pressure from their fan base, is going to take a quarterback. I think it's going to be CJ Stroud. And then I think at 3, this is where the draft begins.
I actually completely agree with Erobb on this. I'll just be honest with you. I'm obsessed with Will Anderson. I think Will Anderson is disgustingly good, right? So I'm like, that is just that is so hard to pass up on. It's going to be really, really hard to do. Now, like you said, I know there's a lot of pressure to take a quarterback and all that, but I think Will Anderson. I mean, the guy had almost 40 sacks in 3 years. In the last 2 years, he had 29 sacks.
He's a freak.
Like that is unbelievable.
I think the Titans trade up here, and I think they take CJ Stroud.
I also think that the Titans are in the market, but we got to talk about this means that the Malik Willis experiment is over.
Well, that was over. That's over.
I'm just saying. I would love you guys to sound off on that. Are we completely out?
I mean,
on Malik.
I don't know if he did anything in the few games that he started to prove that he's like the guy.
He was bad. He was so bad.
A lot of times there is the smart move, right? There's like the fan move where we can see the writings on the wall. You know, maybe this kid didn't pan off, and then you have the GM move, right? Because no one wants to lose their fucking job. And if you move off a kid you drafted last year with valuable resources that fast, all of a sudden, you know, you look at that pick and you go, what happened then? Why did you immediately move off from this kid? Is his one partial season of play so abhorrent that you don't think you can develop him?
I think the thing is with Malik Willis, like he's not a guy that's going to stop you from drafting a quarterback. You know, that's really the bottom line.
We think Rand is coming in with his new administration is like, Malik is out. He's done. I don't care that was the last administration. He's gone.
No way Arizona drafts. They are trading this pick. Like, they need so much. I just do not see them drafting here.
I agree with you, Rob, here. Either the pick is Will Anderson or they're moving off this pick.
Yeah. So now here's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about in terms of, for the sake of the mock draft game, the draft.esfandtv, draft.esfand.tv for you guys who want to do this mock draft and have a chance at winning a Star Force PC. Because how we wanted to do it was we just go by pick instead of by team.
Lock in CJ Stroud then. Lock it in.
So I'm going to go ahead and say CJ Stroud. That's what I'm going to say. Let's go with number 4.
All right. I'm pretty locked on this one.
Go ahead.
I think this is Anthony.
Like,
Anthony
really?
Oh, yeah. There's so much hype around this kid. He's got insane gifts. I think the Colts, I think they'll take him. I honestly, he might end up being the best quarterback in the draft.
I think the Colts take Will Levis.
Man, I think with Anthony Richardson, he is an absolute freak of nature. He is about, 6'4", 240, ran a 4.4 340. I mean, he's disgustingly athletic. But I don't think he's going to be that guy. I think he's a project.
I think they were hot on Levis before. I mean, and Will Levis isn't a project?
No, listen. I think Levis is as well.
Yeah.
But are they see, here's the situation. Are the Colts in a situation where they're just forced to take a quarterback?
They are. Yes, I truly think they are.
I would say right now, Levis over Richardson. I do think
Crazy.
Levis. I think Levis.
Crazy.
I think Levis is a guy who is more likely to pan out and be a because you're gonna have to develop the guy anyway. Like this is a pick he's not gonna come in and
yeah.
rip the
I think
off
either
right
one
away.
of either one of these guys they're gonna have to develop.
Yeah, Will Levis, who's just like tall, big, cannon of an arm. I think didn't they say in an interview he said he could throw like 80 yards or something. So
yeah.
absolute cannon of an arm. I don't think Bryce Young has that. And then you have Anthony Richardson, who on the more like physicality front,
Freak athlete.
He really is.
Freak athlete.
He is.
But I don't think a lot of times the best quarterbacks are not always the best athletes in the NFL.
All I'm gonna say is, if the Colts take Will Levis at 4 and leave Anthony Richardson on the board, there are gonna be about 10 other GMs that are fucking salivating now. Because you look at this kid, like, I'm telling you, someone's going to get in the Colts' ears. I think earlier in the draft process, I would be totally locked with you guys. Will Levis is the pick. I agree. But since the draft and his pro day, the hype, he might not pan out, but he's like a lotto ticket. You know what I mean? He's too appealing.
For me, I do think that the Colts are probably stuck with a quarterback. And I think that they're probably going to go Will Levis. So for the 4th pick, I'm going Will Levis.
I am as well. And then I think for the 5th pick, I think the Seahawks take Anthony Richardson.
You know,
Wow.
That's actually,
because here's why. Here's why.
Thing.
Because when are the Seahawks going to have a top 5 pick again in the next couple years? When?
Wow.
And it's going to be a while. They have a solid squad.
That would be a bombshell. People would be going crazy.
I mean, they got. He has a year to develop under Geno Smith.
Yeah,
had a great season last year. He's been in the league for 10 years. Like he can learn something behind Geno Smith. I think it's perfect for him.
I think you have a really good point.
And the Seahawks, when are they going to have a top 5 pick again?
I think that's a really plausible situation, and I think that would be an ideal situation for Anthony Richardson too. You give him some time to develop. You give him some time to, because here's the thing: Geno Smith had a great year last year, and he is going to be the guy.
They don't have to like rush him in there. See, they got another pick. They can get something there. I think this is a perfect spot for them to take a QB.
I think it's actually a really good spot. I don't disagree. I would be surprised. I think it's one of those things where you just kind of invested in Geno. I think that there is an out in that contract after 1 year where they can break that contract after a year and pay him $30 million or something like that. No, I think that it's a pick that makes a lot of sense. But for me, I have him taking Peter Skoronski out of Northwestern.
Okay.
Peter Skoronski is an absolute mauler. I think that they're a smart organization. I think when you have probably the best O-line on the board who plays multiple positions, tackle and guard, you can move them around.
There's a lot of good tackles in this draft, right?
Yeah, there are.
Yeah,
actually.
but I think
I just don't see them taking that with the 5th pick.
I mean, I could see them taking an edge rusher too. I could see Tyree Wilson coming off the board here.
I'm gonna go with Anthony Richardson for the Seahawks too. And you know what's crazy is I don't even think this is a great QB class.
There's just such a run on quarterbacks.
I just think
really
people are
need a
stuck.
QB.
I think they're just stuck. That's a problem.
I just want to mention this. No one's talking about this. Skoronski in 881 snaps gave up 3 QB hurries.
He is
0 sacks and 2 QB hits. That is absurd.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature.
Fucking absurd.
Yeah, he's I think he's an absolute freak of nature. But so you mentioned the wingspan thing. That's something that's a real issue.
Yeah, he's got short arms.
Yeah, that's something that is a real issue. People have been buying into wingspan as a stat less for offensive tackles. And I don't know if that's even true. I just remember reading that somewhere. I was like, really? That sounds weird. We have all draft night on Thursday to talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll pick up the pace a little bit, chat. We were going to do a little 2-hour preview stream today. And then draft night's going to be big. We're going to be at We Play. It's going to be absolutely sick.
So we got the Lions on the board now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lions on the board.
I think the Lions take a cornerback here. And I think they take Devin Witherspoon.
Okay.
Or Jalen Carter.
I have Jalen. I have Jalen
Carter.
Carter on there. I think Jalen Carter slides. I think he's a generational player. I think he only slides that little bit because of his indiscretions off the field that may or may not be true.
Yeah.
I think he's a steal at 6.
I think the Jalen Carter situation is more of like a kind of hey, I don't really know what happened here. It's like, is this an issue? Is this not an issue? I also think Jalen Carter is going to the Lions.
Breezing forward, number 7. Here's one where I get a little different than you guys. Another quarterback off the board. The Raiders take Will Levis.
Will Levis to the Raiders. Why do you think?
Not bad. I can see that.
So why do you think they're going to go?
Because I think the Raiders are dumb, and I think they draft bad. They draft shitty. Like, if you need a team to consistently draft shitty and everybody on draft night goes, why the fuck did they do that? It's the Raiders. You can almost predict them to do something dumb. Raiders Nation, I fucking love you guys. You've been through the same struggle Jets fans have been through. But, like, they are consistently the team where, like, head scratchers. Like, what is going on? But Will Levis is on the board. They make a dumb move. There you go, Raiders Nation.
I feel that's usually with like I feel like that's usually with like some freak athlete though, and Will Levis is not that guy.
I mean, yeah, he kind of is. He's kind of a. He
does have like the big arm. He has like the absolute cannon of an arm. Yes.
Yeah.
But like he's not like he's not like
if he ran a 4.40, he'd be a lock, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think they take the Peter Skoronski guy.
Okay. A smart pick for the Raiders.
I think they picked that.
You can never go wrong with trying to make your O-line better. Like if you have a guy who does pan out, like it's never going to be a bad thing to have a good O-line, a guy who comes in and ends up starting for you. I think Max Crosby on the D-line for the Raiders needs help. I think they're going to go Tyree Wilson.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think Tyree Wilson comes off the board then from Texas Tech. I think he is also that sort of like Raiders player. 6'6", 270, big, strong, fast, everything. I think Tyree Wilson could go to the Raiders. Let's go to number 8 to the Falcons.
For me, I love who I picked at this one. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. I think this is the Jackson Smith in Jigba pick right here. I know that they just drafted another receiver. I know that they just drafted a tight end, but the Falcons want to build an offense. He's a great wide receiver.
Who did they pick up?
Desmond Riddler.
That's
Ritter,
right.
sorry.
So they're rolling with him this year?
Or Taylor Heineke. I think it'll be a competition, probably.
I feel like the Falcons are their defense was so god awful last year. I feel like they have to go corner. I think they have to go defense
too.
So
I think Christian Gonzalez.
I think Christian Gonzalez is a good pick. I think both Devin Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez are going to be really good.
I think they're going to go to a rusher here. I think they're going to go Nolan Smith from Georgia, an edge rusher.
I think we'd see a Devin Witherspoon in this one. 6'1", 180. I just double checked. I mean, he is like the prototypical sort of like lockdown corner. I think Devin Witherspoon is going to be the guy. That's my pick for the Falcons.
Okay. I love that.
And then we got the Bears. I think the Bears.
Bears.
Did they pick up any wide receivers in free agency?
They traded for DJ Moore. That's right.
They got DJ Moore.
Oh yeah, they did get DJ Moore. Yeah,
I think they're going O-line.
I think they have to go O-line.
I think you have too much talent still there at the O-line on the board.
Now, Will, you think
Paris Johnson Jr.
I think it will be Paris Johnson if Skoronski's not on the board. The thing that makes Skoronski such a good, safe pick is the fact that if the Bears take Skoronski, it's not going to be a pick that gets wasted.
Bring a good Polish boy back to Chicago. I love it. I love that. Bears.
Yeah, I think they take Paris Johnson here too.
You think Paris Johnson? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Eagles, pick 10.
I hope they just butcher this fucking pick.
I love my pick here. Is Bijan. They get the boy. They take the running back. Go crazy. Fly, Eagles, fly, dude.
Here's the thing. Bijan Robinson is a really safe pick. Bijan Robinson is 100% going to be a good player in the NFL. Like, he's going to pan out. When it comes to, like, need and, like, best available or whatever, what do you see? Do they need another pass rusher? Maybe not. I do think Lucas Van Ness is really good. But I also think Christian Gonzalez is very good. And he might be more of a need because they have some age at corner.
Their corners kind of got exposed last year, actually, in that Super Bowl. So I think they're gonna go Christian Gonzalez.
I'm gonna go Christian Gonzalez because I just think they've got some age at corner, and I do think their corners are really good. They just got some age. So yeah, make sure to do the draft. Make sure to do the pick'ems. Again, chat. That website is draft.esfand.tv. So make sure to check that out. So,
Guys, let me say, Esfand has put a ton of work into this draft show. If you're gonna watch the draft, watch our broadcast, because I guarantee you it's gonna be the best draft coverage. I'm excited about it. It's gonna be a ton of fun, and you showing up encourages creators to do new and different stuff like this. So vote with your eyes.
it's going to be here on Thursday night, 4 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. CST, 7 p.m. EST. So tell
And
everybody.
we have some surprises for you guys.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. So it's going to be a lot of fun.